So what's funny is I just recorded that 3D print for preppers video, which an element of that was power, how to power a 3D printer in the event of, society collapses or you lose power or something like that. And not 3 hours later, we've lost power. Orange Storm Giga was probably about 4 hours into that print. It's a 2-day print, better it happened now than, much later. But that's going to be scrapped. Probably 8 kilos worth of filament. Well, I found the source of the power outage. I don't know how this happens on my road. That bad, huh? What is up, guys? Technical Stinkers here, checking in on our little 3D print operation for today. So I'm just a guy, I own a small business that has nothing to do with 3D printing, but I got interested in the process. I see the potential in it, so I'm exploring some various things that you could print for like side income, passive income, not passive income really, but side hustle sort of money. I'm exhibiting those here, and again, this is just exhibition, not instructional. So follow along in the process, subscribe to the channel, and let's see what I got on the plates. Well, if you saw the thumbnail, it's not clickbait. So we started printing our giant coffee table. If you saw the previous vlog, I've got the Orange Storm Giga over here, and we had a catastrophic failure, but it ain't my fault. Someone was probably watching a Technical Stinkers video in their car, not paying attention, and clear sailed through a power pole, taking out the power, dropped the whole neighborhood for several hours, couldn't get my DoorDash. I don't know if they were hurt or not, but I couldn't get my DoorDash, so who's the real victim in this? Plus, my print got screwed up, so it stopped about right here. Luckily for me, I was able to extract some data from the print, make some tweaks and tunes and modifications, and it didn't burn that much filament. Now, when I was doing this one, you can see I got no infill, 2 wall loops. This is still set to take like 8 or 9 kilos, I think, so pretty heavy, but I was able to take some data from that and transfer it into this next print. So we got it going over here. It's been going for about a day and some change. It's got 32 hours left, so more than a day. Our 5 kilogram spool up there is Elegoo Rapid PLA Plus. It's soldiering on, and God, these big giant prints, they give me such anxiety because, you could get all the way up and then something fails and then you're out everything. So again, like in terms of selling these giant prints, got to factor that in because when you fail big. The price tags are higher, but the failures, it's, and a lot of that comes down to operator error, me being a dumbass and, doing things wrong. But it's looking good thus far. The only thing that bugs me is the little preview here on the Elegoo Orange Storm Giga screen. It's kind of like jacked up. Now, I'm not sure if that is, God, I hate touching anything back. Okay, so I went forward and went back. I'm wondering if it's just not reading this file correctly. I'm hoping it doesn't try to print it like that. Well, that's not how the table's supposed to look. So I'm hoping it doesn't do that at all. All the rest of the printers are quiet. We just pulled one off the Soval SV08. Gonna take a look at that here in a second. And we pulled a couple off the P1P. Let's run inside and see what they're about. All right, and so I'm currently in the laundry room right now, not in the office, because it's relevant to something we're working on. We're doing a dedicated content. I'm doing a dedicated content. Stop saying we. I feel like you're here with me. We're doing a dedicated content. Now, my house underwent a massive renovation about 1.5 years ago. I did a lot of the work, trying to learn different trades throughout the process. I've got some experience in different things, but this was kind of a true test of some of these larger scale projects. So the laundry room was refinished and we have this vertical stack here. The only problem is that the outlet for the dryer comes out the side. It can't go out the back because it would come too far forward. So again, this is relevant to 3D printing. I'm getting there. So I chased it down. It goes into the crawl space, but this is ugly. Previously, we had MDF countertops that I put in until I could have real ones put in. It was kind of second stage sort of thing. So we just had our nice quartz countertops put in, but this is ugly and it needs a better solution. Previously, I had this little MDF box, kind of real basic. That would just slide over here to kind of hide it because, again, I don't want to see it. I don't want to, I want to try to make it at least somewhat nice. It's the best solution I could come up with. So I'm trying to think about something that could replace it. And so I thought, let's just 3D print something. So I put this on the Soval SV08. It's a quarter circle. The idea being is that it fits against the backsplash back here, have a little cutout for it, and maybe I could put it on a hinge or something, that way it could go up and down. So I did this just very basic, very rough measurements. Now it's not quite big enough. I'm gonna need to come forward, and I made some marks here, but I was gonna do a dedicated content on that, like functional prints, or why 3D printing is great, because you can just kind of spit out things like this. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. You know, would you like to see more content like that? I mean, this is not, let's get out of here, it's too loud. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below, and if the banging's picking up on the audio, they're still working. They're putting countertops in upstairs as well, so it's actually someone being tortured, but I'm just blaming it on the countertop guys. So let me know if you think you'd like to see content like that, because this is not the sexiest thing in the world, a cover for the exhaust on a dryer. But you know, I'm using it in real life, and I think a lot of people might not think about things like that. Like, they've got something ugly they want to hide, and it's like, well, I could 3D print something for it. So Soval SV08 was able to do this one. It's not going to be able to do anything bigger, so I'm going to have to graduate up to probably the Giga to print something big enough. The Cobras, I think, because the Cobras are just barely bigger than the Soval. Soval's 350 square. Cobras are 420. It's not that much larger, and I'm going to need at least probably another 4 inches in this dimension. But thought that was good. You know, I burned a whole spool of filament, but that's kind of how I roll. I like to print it, make adjustments, print it again, make adjustments, etc. Instead of trying to get it absolutely perfect and fuss over it, I just yeet it and go for it. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. Sort of the final thing I was talking about in a previous video, the character model for the Warhammer model. Again, this is, I don't know if this is like a e-com print or more of an exhibition print, or just something to put in the title to get Warhammer people to take a look at the channel. But this is the model from Karinka. She's the one that does those spicy models. This one's not really spicy. I mean, I guess you could say that, but I mean, it's not meant to be, and you know, there are worse things in the world. Relax. So this is the model she put together. Still got to do this giant cape, the gun, the saw, etc. It's coming out pretty nice. The back, not so much. I'm gonna heat treat this back area with some of these overhangs, because I wanted to print it upright, but ultimately that was gonna use twice as much filament. Pretty insane. Just the supports to make it up to her arm. So printing it flat saved a ton of filament. I got 2 off the plate for what I was expecting to use for just one of these. And so, you know, this is a pretty cool print. I like it. I like the aesthetic. Maybe that's why I'm drawn to it. You know, the black and the white. And I'm not into Warhammer. Maybe you are, and you could tell me what a commissar does in the Imperium. But a cool model nonetheless. It stands pretty high. I mean, I'm guessing that's, you know, 12 inches high or so. With the cape, you know, it makes it a much larger sort of presence. I think there is potential for these models, because like the other spicier models that I was selling previously, those were just spicy models. But this is from a series, you know, sort of a, I'm not how to describe it. It's from Warhammer. So Warhammer people like to buy miniatures, I guess. I'm not sure if this one's too big to be used in gameplay. Is that a thing? I know people buy the miniatures, but they're like this big. This is kind of like very large. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that, and explain Warhammer to me in 3 sentences or less in the comments below. That's what I'm working on today. Love to know what you're working on in the comments. And again, my channel's good. Picked up quite a few subs here. The growth has been fantastic over the past couple weeks. Appreciate all the new people coming in. Again, let me know what you want to see in the comments, because the channel's pretty small. I can still kind of be experimental with a lot of these things, more so on the e-com Etsy side. A lot of my peers that I speak to, you know, they're still heavily into the Etsy, Amazon sort of thing, you know, printing out widgets and selling them there. I've kind of, not say abandoned that, but you know, like with the larger prints, I'll focus on those, sell them through my stores. But if it's something truly impressive, then, you know, maybe I can kind of go that avenue. Exhibition prints, obviously very appealing. Functional prints are just, I mean, that's probably where I'd like to be the most. It's just figuring out what to print. So let me know what you would like to see, what entertains you, or if you're just here for my shiny face on a day-to-day basis. Be sure to like the video, because it's a nice thing to do, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm the Technicals. See you next time.